Hello and welcome back to the Albion Online series. In this little video I'm gonna show you how to gather, at least all I know about gathering. There are tons of videos out there that most likely show it better how it is, but you can check this video out for the basics. So we start off with the Destiny board. If you press B on your keyboard, default key, you get this lovely line setup, and if you follow the blue lines you actually go into the gathering tree. So the blue lines are for gathering. Every tool has its own tree, so you first have to unlock. I bet if you play the tutorial you already have this unlocked. And then it splits out into every little part of the various things. So what can you gather? You have the fiber. Main fiber country are the swamps around Thetford. You find a lot of flowers over there. The miner, if you are into ore, go to Fort Sterling. They have ore priority. If you want to hunt down and skin some animals, you have to go to the desert biome close to Bridgewatch. Chopping woods, Limhurst is the place to go, and all the forests. And if you fancy a nice little stone or a stone block, you go into the plains biome from Matlock. Let's hop over. The next thing is learning points. So up here on the top next to auto learning you have a number. This lovely number are your learning points. If you have premium, you get 30 learning points over the course of one day. If you're not premium, you do your daily, basically you do your dailies and you get 10 of those points if you have done your daily. The daily is quite easy. So if you click on activities, adventurous challenge, you look at this, get your daily bonus. It's 1.2k of keys. You get the lovely book, you get a bonus for everything else, and on completion you get the 10 points. I have premium, so I get the 30 points anyway over the course of one day. Next stop, what can you do with the learning points? So we open up the thing again, the lovely state of the blue. We follow the blue lines, and with those learning points you can speed unlock a next tier. So Master Fiber Harvester, once you reach this line here, it will tell you, hey, you can learn that with learning points. I have it at auto learn, so basically once I have the learning points for it, I will automatically learn it. And in this case, it's 20% of this number here. So 513k of fame you need to gather, and then you can unlock this and use the higher tier tools, the better things, and you can then use the next level. So if you unlock tier 5, you can harvest 5.0, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4. But you can only harvest 6.0. With a 6.1, you cannot harvest that with a tier 5 tool. I personally only use the learning points for unlocking gathering. Until I have everything on tier 8, I will not spend learning points in anything else, because the weapons, go out there, use them, and you have your skill sets ready. It's basically you use your books to fame them up, and everything else, use the learning points for gathering if this is your habit. So next thing is, before you leave your private island, your home city, or anything else, you prepare for what you want to go. As you can see, I have a full set of mining gear, which I'll talk about in a bit. I have miner's books, and I have a full set of tools. I might take another weapon quickly, because reasons. So what does the set do? So The backpack basically reduces the carrying weight. If I have this backpack in the cape slot, everything, in this case tier 5 or lower, the weight is reduced by 30%, which means I can actually carry more ore than anything else. Then the 3 armor sets, the helm, the head, body and feet, they give me additional gathering yield. So as you see, let's just unequip it. Now I have only 2 of these. If I equip this one, it starts with nothing, so I have 0.5 increase of gathering yield. The longer I wear this set, the more ticks I have. I think every 30 seconds or so, or 20 seconds, I get a tick up to 10, and with this my yield increases. How do I get the yield? You open the inventory, click on this lovely triangle, and scroll all the way down. Ore yield, 17%. There we go, now it's up, and 17.5. The higher your skill and the better your gear, the better it is, so you can gather all the shit. So, how do I find the right spot to mine? I'll open up the map. Let's have a look. I'm new to the game, don't know where to find stuff. I'll click on one area. Just highlight it, click on it. And then you not only see the minimap with outposts and so on. This is faction warfare, I'll do this in another video. But for you as a gatherer, these things up here are your thing, the thing you want to look at. So this is a swamp biome. In the swamp you find fiber, you find hide, and you find wood. Which means as a miner, I cannot find the ore I'm looking for. Alright, let's have a look around. So, zoom out. Let's go into the desert. Click the same thing. Aha. So, I can find hide, I can find fiber, I can find ore. But there is a problem. In the desert, the leather, the hide, is priority. Secondary is ore, and the last resource is fiber. So the problem here is I have a lot of nodes where I can where I can get hide, sorry. Some nodes where I can get ore, and little nodes where I can get fiber. Which means I want a lot of resources. So Bridgewatch is firstly a bit far away, and secondly they don't have as many nodes as I want. Alright, let's hop over to Fort Sterling, the icy region. Karen Cloch, let's look at it. So basically the same again. I have ore, I have stone, I have fiber. Let me tell you this, they have a lot of ore. A shit ton of ore. A very, very shit load of ore there. Then they have some stone, which you need for buildings mostly. And you have fiber, which is a good combination. So what am I gonna do? So I need to go into the icy biomes. I'll start over here in Gorn Gorge because I need some low tier materials. As you can see, they have limits. Every biome has its limits. So this is a low tier biome, which only has tier 2 and tier 3 ore. If you go into a higher tier biome, tier 5, you have tier 3 to tier 5. If you go into the red zones, you can have up to tier 6. And in the black zones, those lovely zones that are highly fought over by guilds all over the world, if you are in the right biome, for example we have a tier 8 here, you can also have tier 8 on the max. Enchanted resources, those are those who are glowy on the ground, which you need special tools for. In higher tiers, you have higher chances of finding those enchanted resources. They are a nice additional income, but yeah, for crafting en masse, it's a bit expensive. So I'm gonna go for Karen Cloch. I have 6% chance to find an enchanted resource. I have my ore I need, and I will now get the moving.
I can get you anywhere.
So what you want to do if you are running around as a gatherer in the yellow zones. Blue and yellow, they are peaceful. If you get downed, you only lose a bit of your gear durability, but you don't lose everything. So if you are in the yellow zones, you always want to make sure that you are flagged for faction. Click on this lovely guy. In Thetford you find him on the southeast exit. Click on him. If you do it the first time, you have to enlist first. Get out of his menu, get back in, flag for your faction. Yes. What you see now is you have a little purple symbol right next to your name, and you have the purple shield up there. And now you go repair my stuff. As you see, I have a bit of damage tools. Repair it. And off we go to Karen Kloch, which is a bit of a ride. What does faction warfare flagging mean for you? So two things happen. As some of you might know, there are those lovely flagged for PvP gankers preying on the innocent in the yellow zones. Those who are unexperienced, new to the game, they will get hurt most likely by one of these lovely or unlovely guys one or twice in their lifetime. So faction warfare actually prevents that. So if there is a guy who doesn't have a flag right next to his name and has a red health bar, they cannot hurt you. That's a little protection from the game, as to not like get you frustrated. The only downside is if you find a guy who is flagged for an enemy faction, for example in the Fort Sterling regions, we will find the Fort Sterling flagged, ladies and gentlemen. They have a white flag next to the name and have a red name for you if you are flagged. They can hunt you down, they can still hurt you. There we go, Sleetwater Basin. Let's go straight through. Yeah, for gathering I always recommend that you have an ox for it, otherwise you will run low on gathering space real fast, real quick. Gonna always catch up some of the shinies. Nice side income. There we go. Getting keys, getting faction points, getting faction standing in the process. I will get into more details in faction warfare in another video, mentioned already. For those who haven't seen my first video about the guild, how Dignity of War, basically what we offer, how you join and everything, check out the previous video in this playlist. And there you have all the information you have. We are always looking for new members. So if you're watching this saying, hey, what? Gathering could be a thing for me, playing with a community that has experience, please do join us. We don't bite, usually. Snacking a bit of wood. Nom nom. And there we go. Almost through the zone. And there we are in the icy fields of Fort Sterling. We are now looking for ore. Have a look. Where are we? Come on. Oh, there we go. Ore, stone. I need both, to be honest. Resource mobs. This lovely ore elemental here gives me a bit of resources. if you harvest from an ore mob, it's usually faster. Oh, I have to be careful. But smacking a node takes a bit of time. So if gathering is your thing, I highly recommend to have like a good Netflix account on the side on a second screen or so running. Usually helps a lot. So what happens if I run around and gather a thing? So first of all, let's have a look at the minimap. By pressing N, you can open it up. What happens here right now is a good example of faction warfare. I'm this lovely arrow knight over here in the western corner. This white circle is an enemy faction. Fort Sterling is attacking our outposts, and as a gatherer, you want to stay away from those outposts. Those are like 10 to 20 people attacking an outpost, and they can dismount you and kill you if you want to. Downside is if you are in a gathering setup and you have a high amount of items with you, you are a sitting duck. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stay in this western corner. I'll bet they go to outpost 3, and once they do, I will most likely sneak down to the southern corner just to avoid them. Until then, I'm gonna smack some resources. So what happens if I gather resources? You see a lot of pop-ups here, fame, then coins, keys, and resources. So let's look at it. So we have fame for gathering. For being faction flagged, you get coins, faction coins, and standing. You get those keys, which you need for your dailies. And you get, if you have premium, you get a bonus, and sometimes you have a chance of triggering the gathering yield. The higher your chances of gathering in your, like I showed earlier, like here, down here, the higher those percentage are, the better it is. So I have a 21% chance to get extra amount of ore out of something. So, while I harvest ore, I also fill up the books. We have laborers on all our crafting islands that have a specialty. Also, if you have your own private island, you can build some. And every time I harvest some ore, those books fill up with fame. It's not taken from you, it's basically doubling the fame. And once these books are completely filled, you can give them back to the laborer and either get some resources back, or you get some additional resources, or you have a trophy or something. Okay, now they are on outpost 3. As I am flagged, I will now get somewhere else. I don't want to be. As I just saw them, those lovely glowy balls are wisps. They open a portal to the mist, where you can unlock the standing for Brazilian. The problem there is, if you focus on one resource only, you will have less resources. In the mists, every resource is equally distributed, and the problem with this is, if you concentrate on one specific resource, you get more out of it, but you don't have the spots there. So I only go into the mists for either combat, faming up weapon and gear, or with the high intention to basically gather everything. It is a challenge. You need a high quality ox and a high tier bag for it to maintain it, but it's worth if you want to like literally gather every outpost, every resource there is. Don't shy away to gather everything you have. Basically have all your tools always with you, in case you find something. I also do the occasional fishing. I might get a bit more to the south. There we go. Just gonna avoid this lovely blob. I'm not the only gatherer around here. So, and here we go. Tier 5 node. Smacking it. Tiers, they have a little downside. If you want to fill a tier 2 book for your gathering, you only can use same tier or up to 2 higher to fill the book. So these tier 5 nodes, they don't get me anything for this. And yeah, but I still get the resources. Alright. So I am now gathering away on the resources. I'll stop the video here because I don't want to bore you with all the gathering I do now. And I'll see you next video. Have fun and hopefully see you soon in Albion Online and with our guild. Have a great day.